The world's greatest shuffleboard players have come this week to downtown Reno for Table Shuffleboard's premier event, the 2015 North American Shuffleboard Championships. Our program is made possible by Budweiser, the Shuffleboard Federation, the Sands Regency Hotel and Casino, Champion Shuffleboard, Grant and Betty Watson, and Heirloom Shuffleboards. And now, let's go to the action. We're watching Roger now put the powder on the table, getting it to his liking, taking a little bit of time.
But for anyone who doesn't know about the history of shuffleboard, that's a terrific article to look up. It's available on the Sports Illustrated archives. It was September 1967 and remains, from what I understand, one of the longest articles ever written in Sports Illustrated. It was 8 or 9 pages, and just a legendary character. He certainly missed here and will be for a long time.
Well, obviously I can tell with the emotion and the sentiment that you speak of him, he was a legend and a giant in this sport. Well, we're ready to go for Game 3. This segment is brought to you by a donation from Steve Fisher from Winston-Salem, Oregon. Thanks, Steve.
Yep, Steve's got himself a couple of bars up in there in the Winston-Salem area that they have shuffleboards in it, and he's been around the game his whole life, and is a terrific promoter and sponsor. Roger's obviously trying to stick that weight based on the speed he threw it. Sad to say, in the course of the commentary, I lost track of who won the flip there and who has the hammer. Almost certainly Junior would have preferred to stick that weight. Well, I can tell based on that it's Roger's hammer, and he's just protecting his the center of the table where he will probably lag. Junior did not want to stick that weight. On a clear board with no weights on it, especially on the first hammer, you need to be a little conservative because you don't know how much the speed of the board has changed from the end of the last game to the start of the next one. But to lag, had the opportunity to lag against a 1 really gives you a green light. Where had he hit that weight hard enough to just clear the board, would have been a different situation for Roger. Now Roger here is trying to check out that shot that he tried to make on Junior a couple of frames ago, to come in from that side of the table to pass all those weights. He didn't really get it done as well as he would have liked, so first opportunity to check out the curve and the speed of that lane is what he did there. And it looks like they're both still struggling a little bit in that spot. Roger obviously wanted to stick that weight or slide it over into the center of the table. I would expect if there gets to be a crucial point in the game where one player needs to try and steal the hammer, that's probably where they're going to put the weight. And Roger obviously did not stick that last weight because he did not want to give Junior a chance to go around anything, especially early in the game like this. Neither one of them quite as crisp on some of those knockoff shots as what they generally are. Which you'll often see early in the day, players not quite in dead stroke yet, especially after having played late last night.
Yeah, we started tonight local time, or today rather, local time at 9 o'clock. So,
yeah, the last matches last night wrapped up around 1:30 in the morning. So, and this will be another very long day for whoever advances. Again, it looks like Roger just practiced his lagging area the first time and will now protect his hammer on the next weight. Maybe a little deeper than he wanted, but Junior's not going to get aggressive and try and pass that at this point in the game. Yep, same thing, just leaving it short enough that it's easy to outlag if Junior sticks it, which he does not want to do anyway. Now, he might not mind that. He didn't want to stick the weight, but it's not terrible because it did take away some of the lane that Roger has been practice lagging into. But he would very much prefer to just give him a clean board. Because again, lagging against one gives you a green light. And that did in fact probably was the reason why that weight went off, is that Junior did have it basically blocking up the spot that Roger had been lagging into. Looked like the lane that he in fact went to after that was a little faster than where he had done his practicing, and thus off the end of the table. And another.
Yeah, so in effect, Junior took a sweet spot away from him.
Yeah, which is what you're, almost always trying to do in this game. And it's, as I said, if you let a person just lag wherever they want to, you're going to just get a steady diet of 2s and 3s. So you're always wanting to switch them around into different spots, different hands. And I am surprised that they both continue to struggle in that spot. Because even if they don't want to stick the weight, they're generally going to hit pretty close to the center of it instead of just barely clipping it the way that they've both been doing pretty consistently. Yeah, and Junior did want to stick that one.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a touchy spot there. It doesn't, when you get over to the closer to the side of the table, it doesn't look like it's pulling in as much as they think it does. And it might be pulling in a little more than they think it does once it's, when it's a few inches off the side. That's a huge mistake.
Oh,
it
yeah.
wasn't even close.
Off the end, yep, it was. Again, the speed, a factor.
But, yeah, I would have expected that to be much closer than that. Roger knows what a huge mistake that was. You lag off on a clean table, and not only do you not score any points, of course, but then the other person gets the hammer, so it's a double mistake. And that's just, that's pretty hard to believe. It'll be interesting to see whether he covers that, bumps it, or goes in behind it. Looks like he's opting to try and bump it. So Junior will probably try and hit that and slide behind the other weight, because if he hits it and goes, then he gives Roger a chance to go behind it again. So, well, he slid it, but he would have preferred to slide it in the other direction behind that blue weight. Now he's giving Roger the opportunity to do that. Yep. And
again, not hitting it flush.
You can see yeah, he wanted to hit that on the other side and slide it then behind him. And you can see it on both of their faces, a little bit of frustration, and that also just kind of goes to how much they both want to win this match. Of course, winning is the ultimate goal, but the winner of this match is guaranteed to be in no worse than 8th place. So they're guaranteed to be in the money in some fashion for the winner.
Yeah, we mentioned earlier, if you weren't with us at the time, that the money is for the first 8 spots in the tournament. That's why John mentioned that the winner of this one is guaranteed a money slot.
Well, he's only got one thought here, and he's going to try and put a 3 down there. He's a great lagger, and this is an opportunity to really put himself in control of the game. All right, well, he's certainly not disappointed with that. Yep, and as I mentioned earlier, you can tell by watching these that the end that they're shooting on right now is a little bit faster than the other direction. And Roger's just trying to get that speed figured out again. He was lagging that in pretty good earlier in the match, and just seems to be struggling a little bit right now. Yeah, he would love to have had that weight stay right there on the rail.
We were talking about the fact earlier about colors, but neither opted to change colors this third game.
Nope. They both stuck with what they liked there. Junior just threw that weight because he knew that Roger was not going to pass it. And what that was is Junior was checking out that shot. He would like to have had that weight go off the end of the table right at the side of the board. In other words, if there was a 3 sitting right there in that corner, that's what he was doing in his mind, is taking a practice shot as how would I stick that 3 if there was one there. So the fact that he went off the side with it means that he's not really, doesn't really have that shot figured out at this point in time. I would expect if there's another clean board situation that he may do the same thing, throw the last weight off on purpose, but it'll be more into that corner, which he was trying to practice. Now this is a decision for Roger. Does he want to get aggressive here and try and pass this weight? Passing weights when you don't have the hammer is super dangerous because if you make a mistake, you can really put yourself in trouble, but he has opted to try for it, and now he's in a world of hurt.
Right.
Because Junior's probably going to attempt that same shot. Yep, and that's really not 100% what he wanted, because now if Roger gets really aggressive, he might try and pass them both. Nope, he's going to try and make the combination. And that wasn't really close. He was trying to knock both of those weights off.
Yes, he was.
So Junior now is looking at that, and I would say he's probably going to try and tap it into a 2 or sit right on top of it.
Making that verbal decision or that mental decision right now. Got to hurry.
Actually, it looked like he's just trying to block it, which is not a bad strategy, given the fact that he has the lead. But now where he missed that block, if Roger happens to stick that, he's put himself in a good position where he's going to make Junior settle for no more than 2 points. So from where he was, this is pretty much the best possible outcome that Roger could have had from the frame after trying that go-around shot that didn't work out.
Third time in the match we've had a 4-point differential between the players. In the first game, Roger had a 10-6 score. The second one, Junior had 11-4, and Junior once again with a 4-point advantage of 7-3.
Yep. Now Roger looks like he's going to try and what we call freeze the weight. He did that on purpose. He didn't want to knock it off. Now he's going to force Junior. Junior will probably just knock both of these weights off, because what Roger wants him to do is try and block it. If he doesn't make a good block, then Roger has a chance to stick both of those weights and make a huge frame on him. Yeah, now he's just going to stick the weight. It's that coming right up on top of it, something that you would do on the first or second weight, primarily just the first. Later in the frame, it becomes progressively more dangerous. Junior's definitely going to want to stick that, because if he does, he's going to have himself a small 2. Over if Roger sticks it back, he'll only have a 1-point shot. It's really deeper than he wanted it, but it's not necessarily a bad shot because neither players really had an opportunity to stick a weight over there. So we'll see if Roger knows that. But it is deep enough that he could actually slide that for a 3 without a ton of difficulty if he in fact knows the shot. Okay, so he makes himself a 2 there.
Cuts the lead in half.
Roger's putting it over there. That's the least likely spot for Junior to try and go around a weight. Wow. Well, he's going to try and put himself a 2 or a 3 around that weight. He's going to go around it on the rail side. Yep, and Junior will try and make a combination here. Didn't need much time to think about it.
No, he sure didn't.
This is either going to be another go around or maybe a bump. Looks like he's opted to try and bump it, but a little too hard.
Ooh.
Wow. That's just an enormous mistake.
You noticed it or not, John?
Completely uncharacteristic.
As quickly as these guys are playing, all the other tables are finished here in this round.
Well, it looks like some of those matches went 2 games straight, where this one is in the 3rd game.
So again, off the edge of the
that's
board.
Just it's impossible to tell you how bad of a shot that was.
Yeah.
Because 9 is such a critical number, and to not get on 9, especially when you've got a lead like that, is just
and a wide open board.
Yeah, I mean, Junior, as I said, is a very aggressive player, but you absolutely have to get on 9 there. A 4-point lead with a chance to win the game with back-to-back 3s. That's a mistake that could be huge before this is over with.
See if Roger takes advantage of it.
Well, nothing complicated about this. He badly needs a 2 or a 3 here. Not only to keep the score close, but to kind of regain a little bit of momentum here. Because it's clearly all in Junior's favor right now.
Well,
all right,
well,
he needed that. He needed that.
Again, the score, they played till 15.
Yep, and Roger's not going to give Junior any chance to score with 2 weights here. He may try and... No, he's just going to play this conservative and straight up. But he really wanted to stick that last weight because he doesn't want to give Junior this opportunity to practice the speed of that spot. Junior will try and hit this and perhaps roll it over, keep it a 2. All right, that's a pretty good shot there. It's a deep one. You generally don't want to let players of Junior's caliber lag against a 1, but it does. If he does happen to lag short or off, you've kept him from getting onto 9 while also tying up the game. Yep, and that's
what he did.
And again, that's a pretty big mistake at this level. You want to be, if you don't successfully outlag it, you want to go off the end of the board where you give yourself a chance. You lose the hammer either way, but to come up short is just it's a mistake that you don't normally see at this level. Junior's thinking about bumping this weight up. No, he's going to pass it. This could be a little dangerous because if Roger sticks this weight, Junior really doesn't want to be in a position where he's lagging against 2 weights, especially with that one covering up, as much board as it is. But Roger's also, very much aware of the fact that if he does stick it, there's a chance that Junior just goes in and passes it. So he's got to be a little careful on how he plays it. That's pretty close to perfect because that weight, nothing the Junior can do with that. He can't go around it, and any place is going to get Roger in trouble. Although Junior could go up the middle there. Oh, my mistake. I kind of lost track of where we were in the frame. So, yep.
Having the hammer, he gets an easy
yep.
2.
Yeah, I lost track of where we were in the frame there. I thought that was his 3rd weight, not his 4th.
Now for Junior, if he gets a 2 here, it sets him up very well.
Yep, and he threw that first weight off on purpose. He's not going to give Roger any chance to score more than 1 weight this frame. Based on the score, had he kept it on the table, Roger would have almost certainly passed it or bumped it or done something to try and get a couple of weights in play. And this is once again the protect the hammer strategy. Almost looked like Junior tried to slide that, or wanted to slide that weight into the middle of the table and block up some of Roger's preferred lagging lane, even though he hit it on the wrong side. But based on the speed that he shot it, it looks like he wanted to stick the weight. He'd have shot a little harder if he just wanted to hit it and go. And you can see based on the last couple of frames that spot there pulls up a little bit. It's not quite as fast as as if you were on the left side of center of the table.
And as you've mentioned a couple of times, it's slower at that end than it is at this end.
Yeah, and also looks like it's a little slower if you're to the right side of center than if you are to the left. It's an aggressive play, but not unusual for Junior. Now, had this game been a little different, if Roger had been 4 or 5 points behind, Junior would not have gone in there, but Roger would have probably opted to try and pass them both if the score was, the gap was a little bigger. So he's in a pretty tough spot here. He knows that there's a pretty good chance that Junior's going to lag a 2, but he pretty much has to turn him loose at this point in time and hope that doesn't happen. Now Junior's just protecting his hammer. There's no place that Roger can pass that, so he's just going to hit it. Hope that Junior doesn't hurt him too bad with the hammer.
Yeah, big shot right now for Junior.
Yeah, and again, 12 is a critical number. He's would love to have a 3 or a 4, but he's almost certainly going to try and make sure that he lags himself a deuce. And that's going to be short.
Ouch.
Yeah, and you can see the look on Junior's face. He wasn't happy with that effort.
No, and this late in the match, I can't say it's nerves.
Well, you know, the closer you get to winning it, certainly nerves become less of a factor as you get more warmed up in the match, but more of a factor as you get closer to closing out your opponent. This is not a bad shot, not a bad situation for Roger. He'd obviously prefer to be in the lead, but at 9-11, that's a classic scenario where you need to lag 2 3s, and if he does that, then Junior has to lag a 4. So if Roger can lag a 3 here and put himself on 12, he basically takes control of the match again.
Gotta be close.
And you see that he's in a little different lane there. He's a little closer to the center, but still it pulls up a little bit. If he gets a little left of that center, where it's a little faster, that probably would have been a 3. And Junior loves the position of that weight, because what he would love to do right here is have a really, really deep 1 in Roger's lagging area, where if Roger doesn't make the shot, that Junior steals a point and gets himself on that prized 12th point.
Mm-hmm.
No, he's just going to go ahead and take his chances, let Roger lag, put his best shot up there, knowing that he's got the hammer coming back.
Huge for Roger.
Yeah, absolutely huge. Not really much difference between lagging a 1 and a 2. It still leaves him in a hole. He really needs a 3 here, and yeah, that wasn't particularly close.
Boy, with a wide open table, I'm shocked.
Yeah, they're definitely struggling with the speed going in that direction a little bit.
Now, on that side, he has the speed figured out pretty well.
Yeah, they both seem to have a little better control of the speed from that end. That's probably going to be if they get into a situation where they both got 1 weight left, there's nothing else on the board, Roger's probably going to put 1 in that corner and hope to steal the hammer back from Junior. Earlier in the game or at a different score, Junior wouldn't try and stick that weight. But he knows at this score, the chances of Roger taking a gamble and going around it are pretty remote. So again, just a short weight here. He's going to make sure that he gets a chance to lag with nothing of consequence in his way. I would be very surprised if this isn't a 2, 3, or off the board. Or maybe the first 4 of the match. I'd say the chances of this coming up short of being a deuce are pretty remote.
As the old saying goes, slim and none.
He's just trying to pick his lane, whether he wants to go straight up the middle or a little more of an angle. And he's trying Trying to use the curve of the board to swing it in there a little bit. And there we go. Big frame right there. Yep, and this, again, is a situation where Junior threw that weight off on purpose. He's given Roger no opportunity to get 2 weights on the board. Now, Roger's hoping that Junior will hit this and stick it, and if he does, Roger's going to try and go around it. He absolutely did not want that. He's given Roger a chance to win this game with a great shot. Actually, it was going to require 2 great shots, but if he hits that and goes, there is no opportunity. Oh.
Yeah, Roger saying in frustration, "Are you kidding me?" He can hardly believe that, how much that weight came up short.
Yeah, and you did see that Junior waxed what was a fairly long dry spot on that right side. And that's kind of a mental mistake on Roger's part not to have waxed that and make sure that he had a nice smooth track to attempt that last shot through. So now this is a real tough position because that corner, I do believe, is a little faster than the lanes he has been lagging into. And he hasn't made many left-handed shots over there over the course of the game period. But he needs a deuce. Oh, boy. That's a hanger. That's 4 points.
Wow.
That's a game changer.
It certainly is. From 13-12 to 14-13. When he needed it, he got it.
When he needed it. And Junior's been the best lagger in the game the last couple of years. You would expect him to come back with a 2 here, but not as easy when you absolutely have to have it. And you can see the look on Roger's face and his eyes, the intensity there, and that he now knows that he's given himself a chance to win. Yep, he did not want to stick that weight under any circumstances, and he didn't. So he's playing this frame exactly as he needs to. Junior may take a shot at that left cross corner and hope to get either a stick or a miss. Roger, well, he didn't want that because now Roger can stick that, and it's going to be tough to outlag for Junior. He would have preferred to have a 3 down there, that if Roger stuck it, he could stick it back. Huge.
Stay on.
Wow.
Look at that.
That's just an absolute nightmare. That shot is so hard to stick, it's just hard to describe. As a matter of fact, I would not be surprised if Junior just opted to try and outlag that. Because the chances of sticking that weight are extremely remote.
He's getting a long look at it. You can see it hanging over the edge.
Yeah, because of the way that the board curves and everything, that's, wow. What an amazing turn of events. If I had to guess, I would say he's not going to shoot it that weight.
Tell you you one thing is that facial expression has not changed throughout the match.
Nope, he's been really in control of his emotions and intensity. Very deliberate. But yeah, I think he's got two extremely difficult choices here. Either stick the weight or try and outlag it. I think he's going to try and outlag it. Nope, he's going to shoot at it.
At his second
Maybe.
thought.
Maybe. Nope, he's going to outlag it. He's going to attempt to outlag it. And he has come up short. Wow. What a stunning turn
Really?
of events.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
That hanger at the end for Roger Holloway gives him the match. He won the first game and the last game. And he trailed most of that third game.
That was some shuffleboard at its finest.